I recently finished Walk Through Fire, the memoir by Sheila Johnson, co founder of B.E.T, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and one of the most quietly formidable women of our time. I haven't stopped thinking about this book because this wasn't just a story about success, it was a story about endurance, about what survives behind closed doors, about who we become after the life we thought we were building falls apart. Sheila Johnson's story is often told as an American success story, and it is. But what moved me most was not the wealth or the titles or the billion-dollar headlines. It was the fact that some of her deepest adversity didn't come from the outside world. It came from inside her home for decades. She writes openly about a 33-year marriage marked by infidelity, cruelty, intellectual dismissal, and the quiet erosion that happens when a woman's talents are minimized while she is carrying far more than her share. What many people don't realize is that long before BET became BET, she was the breadwinner, working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, holding things together, believing, enduring. And that endurance, that need to hold on no matter the cost, was shaped early. At 16 years old, her father abandoned the family to start another one. 16. An age where you were still forming your sense of safety, worth, and belonging. And she named something many women understand but rarely articulate: how early abandonment can wire you to cling, to tolerate mistreatment, to confuse loyalty with love, even when love becomes painful, even when it becomes unrecognizable. In the midst of that marriage, Sheila suffered a miscarriage, a loss that sits silently in the body, that doesn't announce itself, but changes you forever. And still, she rose professionally, creatively, purposefully. She founded Young Strings in Action, training and mentoring youth through music, taking them around the world, even performing once for the King and Queen of Jordan. Music, her art, her discipline, her calling, became both refuge and lifeline, a place where she could breathe, a place where her intellect and leadership were undeniable. Even as the family's wealth ballooned toward $1 billion over the next 20 years, her personal world was unraveling. Affairs, distrust, betrayals, company theft, employee misconduct, falling outs with people she once trusted deeply. And perhaps the most painful reckoning of all was watching the man that she loved become someone she no longer recognized. And realizing slowly, painfully, that they were no longer in love. After the divorce, she fell into a deep depression. She writes about days when she could barely function, moments of breaking down in public, even a serious horse riding accident, her body bearing the weight of her spirit had been carrying for years. And yet, what struck me most was the gentleness with which she tells her story. She doesn't rage, she doesn't sensationalize. She lays her experiences down carefully, almost like offering them to us on a platter, trusting us to hold them with care. Her third act is where something extraordinary happens. Out of grief came clarity, out of loss came purpose. Her dream of opening the Salamander Resort and Hotel, a luxury destination in Middleburg, was met with a lot of resistance, coded language at meetings, and unmistakable institutional racism. Not just because she was a woman, but because she was a Black woman. And not just any Black woman, of course, a Black female billionaire. And still, she persisted. She built, she expanded, she remarried. She even watched her two adopted children grow into adulthood and marry as well. She deepened her global philanthropic work, and slowly, beautifully, her nervous system came to rest. That part moved me more than anything because, as you can see, money didn't save her, status didn't save her, achievements didn't save her, meaning did. This book reminds us that money does not equal happiness and that the journey matters more than the outcome. The fear and self-doubt can stop us long before failure ever does. And as Black Americans, yes, we contend with institutional racism, but Sheila Johnson's life also shows us that with education, skill, confidence, access, and community, we can build lives that inspire others without denying the reality of our obstacles. Her story is one of love and loss, of tragedy and triumph, of figuratively walking through fire and not emerging unscathed, but literally transformed. And it reminded me of something I tell myself often. We are all still writing our stories. Every setback is the beginning of a chapter. Every success lays the foundation for the next script. I don't need to compare my journey to anyone else's. I don't need to move on anyone else's timeline. Because even if we've been hurt, even if our trust has been broken, even if we've walked through fire ourselves, there is an ending to our story. And the beauty is, we are the ones who get to write it.